It's a new month, so a new month of going to the library a couple times a week for my kids during the summer, which means checking out what's for sale used. I posted a June recap, which was embarrassing. We'll see if July is equally as embarrassing. But this little haul I'm showing you is from last week and this week. So it's a 2-week haul, 2 different libraries. Okay, first one is this Shopkins book. My daughter really likes Shopkins, and we can only find things used for Shopkins now, which rebranded as something else. But she likes the little figures, and she likes the books, so we found this. And then my husband found Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2, and this is the special rehearsals edition script. And we only buy like Harry Potter things. We're not Harry Potter like people, but if we do purchase anything, we try to buy them secondhand. So my husband is gonna put this in his classroom library. And then this is from a different day at a different library. First are 2 homeschool related books. I'd never seen this series before. This one is Fantastically Great Women Who Made History, and this will be a good read aloud book to go over women in history, which will be great for Women's History Month. And it is Fantastically Great Women Who Changed the World. Same author and same idea. Each page will be a different woman. Again, great for Women's History Month. And then this one is a big coffee table book. Are those really even popular anymore? You know, really big illustrations and you know, all things Spider-Man. And my son likes Spider-Man, my husband, so I got this with them in mind. And I mean, this is, I keep saying it, it's a big book. So let me figure out what we paid for these. So everything that I just showed you came to $5. So I don't think that's a bad deal at all, given the hardcovers and everything. So that is what we have as of, I'm filming this on July 9th. We'll see if anything else gets tagged on after this video. Until next time, bye. Okay, I'm filming this pre-coffee, early morning. Breakfast hasn't even been made on July 16th to show you 2 hauls from 2 different, well, it's actually one library. Nope, 2 different libraries on 2 different days from, I think, a week ago. And I will say these little hauls will be winding down significantly once my husband goes back to work and summer events are over at the library. We will just be going back to our normal amount of library visits, which don't usually garner this many hauls. This is how I'm trying to justify everything. Okay, first up is this Pikachu Pokemon, Pikachu's Rescue Adventure. And my son is still a little intimidated by non-picture books. It is a neurodivergency thing we're working through. He's gotten so much better, especially if he is doing like read alouds to his sister. To himself, it's still a little difficult, the fear. It's hard to explain. I'm not going to get into it. But the words are a little bigger in this, and there is like some, you know, center pictures. So I think this will be a good bridge to gap in, or however that phrase is. See, I haven't had coffee. Because he's good with like Dogman and that comic graphic novel type style, which I'm totally okay with. So we're still working on this style of a book for him. And then also for homeschool read aloud, we have What's the Big Idea, Ben Franklin? And this will be good read aloud for history, as well as a read aloud for science, the water cycle. I really like these types of books for when we have our week of couch reading homeschool. And it really gets my son particularly interested in a lot of varied topics that might not strike him if we are solely learning in our workbooks and textbooks. And then my daughter found Elena of Avalor. These are hard to find because the show's not on anymore. So she was happy to see this. And then I got something for myself. Oh, that Avalor, Elena of Avalor, was called Song of the Sirenas? I don't know. My book is called A Well-Behaved Woman by Therese Ann Fowler. It's a nice thick book and historical fiction, so that's my style. And then the second little haul from a different library. We have Hidden Figures, based on the movie. Again, this is going to be a good read aloud for homeschool. I would not pin this on my son to read alone quite yet, but to read aloud to both of my kids, good one. Then my husband picked up Poor Richard's Almanac to keep in his classroom. He is a middle school history teacher, so he's happy to add this to his classroom library. And then he picked up for himself, finally, they had a Stephen King book he has not read, and it is called The Institute. And it was a former Barnes & Noble book, and it is a big book, and it's in really good condition. The dust jacket's, pretty good. So let me figure out and look back to see how much we paid. So all of that came to $5. I mean, the Stephen King book alone, come on. This is $30, pre Barnes & Noble discounts and whatnot. But I think that's money well spent. We are supporting the library. We are supporting our book and reading habits. So I will gladly give them our $5. So that is it for this round. And we still got, 2 more weeks or so of July where we will be at the library. Heck, we're going tomorrow and Friday. And of course, we'll visit the used book sections. So that's it for this time. Bye. Another week just passed, and we had 3 library events. So that means we visited the used book area of the library 3 times, and I have 3 book hauls. And I'm making this before coffee, so bear with me. Okay, the first book haul of the week that just passed yielded 2 books, and I thought, ooh, we are going to have a conservative week, and no. First is this anthology of Sarah Ruhl plays, The Clean House and Other Plays, and my husband will be putting this in his classroom library for his high school theater classes. And then, of course, if you know me and my love of Back to the Future, it is Back to the Future based on the movie Pop Classics. I want to say I've seen this before, online. So, of course, had to grab it. This will be a fun read aloud with the kiddos. And I'd like to say I got it for them, but honestly, why lie? It was for me. And then on our second trip of the week to the library, this is what we got from that used book section. This is for my husband. It is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I don't know how to pronounce this author's name. Kawaguchi. And it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, some exclusive content to them, and it's apparently a whole series. And my husband thinks he's heard of the author and or of the book series, so he wanted to give it a try. And then the second book is one for me. This is The Lost Girls of Paris. Sounds up my alley. And then for my son, Pokemon. It is Now You See It. Watch Pokemon evolve right before your eyes. And it is of different Pokemon, and he's enjoying reading these types of books to my daughter to get her more into Pokemon knowledge. And then the next 2 are for homeschool. Our West, and it's talking about, the 1800s traveling to west of our country, and this will be a good read aloud for when we do couch reading. And then Yours and the Life of Anne Frank. My son knows of Anne Frank, has not read her diary. I was first introduced to Anne Frank after I read Number the Stars. And he's an extremely sensitive child. So he's not quite ready to dive into the Holocaust. But this will be a good read aloud for couch reading and getting introduced to Anne Frank. And last but not least, our third and final haul of the week. And I got like a series, and I was impressed. I'm excited, but we'll save that for last. First is Sunflower Sisters for me. Sounds up my alley. Like, I need more books, but I need more books. And then for homeschool, it is Nat Love, and it's from this series called History Maker Bios, and I have more books from this particular series, like Thomas Edison and things like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who Nat Love is, so I will be learning right alongside my kiddos when we do this for Read Aloud. And apparently he was a cowboy. Yeah, so I will be interested to learn about him. And then for the series, now when I found my love of historical fiction, that was through the series Dear America. And let me know if you are a Dear America reader. And then they did spin-offs like My Name is America and My America. Read those too. They're packed away. I have a collection. And this is called My Story series, and it is again in diary form. And so I picked these up for my son to read, my daughter to read in the future, but why lie, for me to read as well. So I have no idea if there's more in the series, if anything falls in between these books. But we have The Diary of a Tudor Lady, Lady Jane Grey, My Story, An Elizabethan's Diary, To Kill a Queen, An English Girl's Diary, Highway Girl, The Journey of a Convict, No Way Back, and An Irish Girl's Diary, The Hunger, and An Edwardian Girl's Diary, Suffragette. And I was super pleased to see this. I love being able to pick up a bundle in a series. So let's figure out how much all this costs. Let me look back. All of this came to $7.50, which, I mean, I think that's well worth it, the series alone. Oh, that's interesting. These are the UK editions. I was looking on the back for what these cost individually, and it's in pounds. And it is saying, giving the Scholastic UK website. Well, that's nifty. I definitely need to dive into more about this series, but for everything, well worth $7.50. I'm pretty sure, hang on, let's look at this Back to the Future book. Nope, this one doesn't give a price as well. I'm on a roll, but I'm pretty sure this would be $7.50 or more alone. All right, enough babbling. Gotta go find a home for these. Wish me luck. July has drawn to an end, and I have my last video here of what we got from the library used book section. And it was on a day where my daughter couldn't go, so I stayed home because she was sick, and my husband and son went to the library event. And before they left, they browsed, and my son found something, and it's Star Wars and Legos, the perfect Venn diagram overlap. The Visual Dictionary. Star Wars, Legos, nice hardcover big book, lots of nice pictures, and this was $1. So I dare say we had a successful July used book haul from the library, and just in general between June and July, summer months where we were heavily visiting the library, we got a lot of good stuff there. So this wraps up July's used book haul from the library. We'll be going to the library still once the school year starts, just not nearly as often, 4 or 5 times a week, multiple libraries in one day. So whether I do a monthly haul or a per visit haul, that'll be determined as it happens. But until next time, have fun visiting your library, take advantage of their used book sales, and just happy reading and happy books. Bye.